morning, everybody. It's Javier. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. We have a little bit of information to pass on to you. I know that today is obviously Saturday after Thanksgiving, but for me, I hate missing my meetings because it has a way of affecting the cycle that we're so used to. You know, momentum is the easiest thing to lose and the hardest thing to gain. So I just want to make sure that, again, all of us collectively are in a position to be able to benefit from the information we share. Before you do, well, let me just start here since we have everybody here anyways. Just an update that I wanted to talk to you about. We're going to start the fundraising campaign for our Christmas wish list. It's a pretty cool thing that we do in conjunction with principals only at elementary schools. And the principals are the one that really understand all that's going on with the kids more than anybody else. So they know who's under, unfortunately under this, that, problems at home. And unfortunately, there's a lot of kids that need help. Now, we're not going to fix their problems, but we can definitely brighten their day. And so what we're doing this year, again, is we're going to pass this out to the actual principals, and the principals are themselves going to select who they hand the forms out to. The one thing in common with all these kids is that they're going through some hardship in one way, shape, or form. And they're given the form, and they're given the opportunity to simply fill out the form as follows. And it simply says, if I could have a wish for Christmas, I would ask for these four simple things: a book, something to wear, something I need, and something I want. And it can be as simple as a Hot Wheel that we give to them. What we are doing this year, for those that actually go ahead and donate, we're going to go ahead and invite you. If you want to come to one of the sites and hand them the toys to the kids, you will be doing it yourself. And so you can get an idea of how much you would want to donate if you wanted to sponsor one or two kids. I mean, you can kind of do the math for yourself. Some of the stuff we can deliver on, sometimes we can't. But either way, we do our best to help out as many kids. And not one child has ever given the stuff back saying, I didn't ask for this or I don't want it. We want them to not go empty-handed. As a matter of fact, I know here locally there was a fire on Thanksgiving morning, of all things, at like 2 a.m. I was talking to the brother of the person that unfortunately went through this, and all the kids and his adult sisters, 2 of them, ended up in the hospital with severe burns. And it's kids like that we try to focus on, that they're going through something that you and I as adults probably couldn't handle, yet they have to handle it as kids. And so anyways, we're going to do that. If you are interested in that, that's the QR code. I will promise you that next April, when you're doing your taxes or whenever you do your taxes, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to be sitting there writing a check and saying, man, I wish I had more write-offs. I think it's better to give the money to the kids than to Uncle Scam. So, of course, as always, the choice is yours. We are up to Chapter 5 of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. This is especially important, I think, with all that's going on in the world today. And Chapter 5 talks about the law of addition. And if you wanted to summarize the entire chapter, it says right there, leaders add value by serving others. And that, of course, takes on different meanings in different ways. I think that part of that is serving others doesn't mean just your client, because I don't think that's serving. That's just simply delivering what you promised you were going to do. The serving does take place with your customers, but most importantly, with those around you. That's just a philosophy that I've always had, where you literally, in my opinion, should lead by giving. And if you do that, it's amazing how much better you're off. I just sent you guys via chat the link to this chapter. Please grab it now and don't call me or text me during the week to get it to you. It's just not going to be there. But a great example that they use here is this gentleman that if you don't know him, you've heard of his company that he runs. And it says, in a world where many political leaders enjoy their power and prestige, and where CEOs of large corporations make astronomical incomes, work and live in luxury, and appear to be most concerned with what's in it for them, Jim Sinegal is an oddity. He is the co-founder and CEO of Costco, the 4th largest retailer in the United States, the 9th largest in the world. And when you read his story, I mean, the guy makes $350,000 a month, which is nowadays really nothing compared to how much they sell. Learn about his office, how he operates. He makes it a point to visit every single store in the United States at least once a year. I mean, it's just an incredible person that I think if we all try to emulate at least part of what he does, our businesses will grow by leaps and bounds. And that's part of the reason that, again, I like so many of you, because the simple fact that you're like-minded, sometimes we just need to step it up in regards to where it is we need to focus more of our time, our effort, and yes, in some cases, our money as well. And so anyways, this is a great chapter. Read it. Again, this is Chapter 5, the law of addition. And I would encourage everybody to please take it to heart. Understand that you're not going to get very far. It's amazing. I've been talking to a lot of real estate professionals and a lot of producers on the real estate. and the mortgage in the last 2 weeks with Power. I want to welcome Mr. Red Stafford, just came on board with Power. So, this has got to be good if he's involved. And so anyways, I've been talking to, and I'm not saying this about Red, I'm talking about the other people that I've been meeting with. And by a lot, I'm talking about maybe 3 this past week, just by coincidence. And a lot of people are trying to either diversify where their business is coming from, or they kind of feel that the cycle is nearing the top, if you would, or whatever. And so the good thing is that more people today than ever before are open enough to a second stream of income that doesn't compete with what they do. And I think that's why we've been able to do what we are doing right now. We are going to go at it January 1st is when we light the fuse. And so some of you are part of it already. Congratulations. If you're not, we're going to talk to you about becoming an ambassador for free and all the other stuff, but I'm not going to get into it. But the point that I'm making is that the common denominator with those that are moving first right now are also the ones that I notice give. They donate their time, their effort, their money, and so on. And that's what has me so excited, if you would. And so read this chapter. This is the law of addition. Leaders add value by serving others. And I'm telling you, we got changes coming. We have changes coming. We have some strong headwinds. Some of you actually were on my previous webinar, so you'll see me cover some of the same stuff right now. So forgive me for that, but I don't think we can cover it enough. Countdown to New Year, January 1st, 2022. That's my birthday, by the way, January 1st. I turned 50. I'm actually taking my entire family down to Cabo with me for celebration. And so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. This is like a Brady Bunch type of trip. I got my 3 daughters and grandkids, son-in-laws, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be fun. But I do so very cautiously for the simple fact that I know as I look at it to 2022, we've got some pretty strong headwinds coming. I just know we do. And if you were on the previous call, please don't answer. But if you were not, what would you say are some of the top challenges as a loan officer, as a realtor you see coming in 2022, especially Q1 or the first quarter? What would you say it is? Anybody? And by the way, there's always challenges. So I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I always identify opportunities, especially as I go into a new year. What are the opportunities for this year? For me, solar is one of them to complement what I already do. Great. But what are some of the challenges? So to me, it might be mortgages. If I'm going to just stick to only mortgages, great. But what are the challenges you think you see coming in your world? What do you think is coming in our world that's going to affect us in the first quarter of 2022, if not starting now? Anybody? What do you think? Just general. Anybody?
More competition, probably.
Okay, and the answer to that, I'm never afraid of more competition as much as I would be concerned about automation, that the Rockets of the world and all these other places are just automating more and more and more and more. They're hiring less, but they're closing more because they're figuring out the whole thing. So that is true, more competition. And when it comes to just Joe Blow, more people getting the NMLS license, I'm not worried about that because I know that 95% are not going to figure it out. But the bots, if you would, are definitely going to work. So that's cool. More competition, that's one of them. What else? Anybody else? Again, it's not a bad thing. Doesn't mean you're going to use it as an excuse to not work. I'm just saying, what's out there? What do you see? Somebody, come on.
Less jobs.
Okay, less jobs, but okay, so maybe less people to qualify for the loans, I guess. Okay, cool. Thank you. What else? Anybody? Anybody? Come on. All right. Well, I'm not going to take too much of time.
Pandemic.
What's that? Was that Michael? Who was it? Michael.
Pandemic.
Okay, it was somebody right here. I think this is going to be the greatest challenge, personally, in going into the first quarter. I think that the Omicron variant is going to. And here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to come and destroy the real estate market or the mortgage. I'm not saying that. Our market ultimately has a lot to do with how people feel about the market. And what I'm talking about is the mindset. But anyways, beginning last year, I held a meeting with my life insurance team. And I was telling them, I think that they're going to close the schools down. And people are like, I can't close schools. I go, I really think they are. And that was based on what I knew and what people I spoke to, at headquarters over at Beaudry, which is the LAUSD, where they're based out of, and this, that. And sure enough, 2 days later, they announced we're closing down. And it changed that world forever because we were never used to selling virtually. We were all used to just nothing but live and in classrooms, in police stations, and so on. And it threw one hell of a curveball. But I will tell you this, and primarily, as you guys know, my wife is from Czechoslovakia. We've been in communication with her family, friends, everybody back home for a while now about what's happening with the Omicron, and also what's happening in general, and the challenges that you have. I'll give you an example of what I mean. This is just yesterday. Just yesterday, heavily mutated coronavirus variant puts scientists on alert. New COVID variant sparks international alarm. We're talking about world races to contain new COVID threat, the Omicron variant. Belgium just confirmed their first case of the new heavily mutated COVID, blah, blah, blah. And then Biden went ahead and restricted travel from South Africa, and so did the EU, so did a whole lot of other places like UK, Brazil, and so on. But unfortunately, it's already made it to Europe. And usually what happens in Europe comes here. And just to prove my point, this is from yesterday in New York. The whole state of New York just declared a state of emergency ahead of the Omicron or potential Omicron spike. And so I'm saying this for no other reason that as we go out there and we deal with people as to buy, sell, refi, a lot of it has to do with their mindset. If somebody knows for a fact that they're never going to sell, they might not, be a good candidate for a listing. Or if they know for a fact that they're not going to keep the house, they're not going to want to refi right now. Or if they feel they're not going to have a job, they might not want to refi. And so the point that I'm making is you got to kind of have not your script, but your talking points ready when you talk to people and you detect some kind of hesitancy because of their mindset. Again, if somebody knows for a fact that they're going to do something, that's fine. They're going to do it and they don't qualify. They don't want to do it. But if they're just afraid, that's what has the impact to affect us all. And a perfect example of that would be the stock market. Stock market yesterday was down over 1,000 points. Thankfully, it recovered and they closed only 900-point loss. And that was more of a knee-jerk reaction, I think, to the news that's going on. But deep within it are legitimate concerns. I was telling a friend of mine that I was having dinner the other day about Lucid, that's the company that makes the Air, the new electric car. And I was telling him, wait until they deliver their first set of keys. The media's going to go crazy because that's who fans everything. And sure enough, we all made 38% in one day just from those news and got out of that one. And so what I was mentioning was I feel so sorry. I feel so sorry for the cruise companies, their stock. Now, the good news is if you understand how the market works and you have the money and time, it's a good time to buy. And Royal Caribbean, all the major Carnival, the three major, I should say, the three top cruise lines took a dump yesterday. Their stock collapsed basically just when they thought it was over, here comes, of course, this new thing. And so the reason that I share this with you is just have your talking points ready when you're talking to somebody and they bring this up. I don't volunteer information, especially something that they might take the wrong way. I just simply always have my talking points. The same thing when I'm talking to somebody on the life insurance side, the same thing when I'm talking to somebody on the real estate side or mortgage side. Just sound informed, sound educated, because you're supposed to be an advisor and give them sincere advice. But you cannot give advice if you're trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about because you never followed the news. You never knew what was going on. So I'm just simply saying this is more of a mindset issue than a market condition, because it hasn't affected the market yet, even the last pandemic, which is part of the talking points. Even to the height of the original coronavirus pandemic, the market didn't collapse. Rates didn't go crazy. Nothing happened. And so I think that waiting for something to blow over might cost you a lot by having rates go up higher or the value of a home go up even more. Either way, you need a place to live. Why not move forward with the home of your dreams that you're looking for? And so again, just have your talking points ready, and I'll leave it at that. I do want to talk to you about some of the virtual selling. And by virtual selling, I'm talking about sounding more educated and doing things to help you communicate your mortgage business on a more virtual basis. Virtual will never go away, just so you know. There's a lot of people that have gotten a taste of it and never want to go back to the real world. On the life insurance side, we've got some of our best agents who are not interested in going back to schools. They don't want to go back in person. They'll take the closings via Zoom. They're going to do that, but they don't want to go in person. And it's here now, why do you think virtual is so important as a realtor? I'm sorry, as a loan originator. Why do you think it's so important as a loan originator on this whole virtual world? Anyway. Come on, guys, don't do this to me today, please.
Do you save a lot of time meeting with people?
I mean, first of all, it's a very efficient way of doing business. I mean, what was it like before? I'll give you an example. I go to a roll call. Somebody says, yes, I'm interested in buying, selling, refi. Okay, cool. How about Tuesday? Where do you want to meet at work or at home? I want to meet when I'm off. Okay, where do you live? Van Nuys. Okay. How about, at 4 p.m.? Yeah, I'll be home by 4. Okay, do you want to meet at your home or not, rather Starbucks or something? Okay, that is more than half my day because I have to leave Ontario to the San Fernando Valley really early to get by that time. So I'm going to show up early, have lunch on my way there, blah, blah, blah. Now, when I can meet with them virtually, they can have their phone inside the police car like I usually meet with them. They're in the police car, the partners parked somewhere, keeping watch, and we're just chatting away. No need to stop our worlds for that. And it's a much more efficient way of doing that. Now, let me ask you a question. What does it cost to fill up your tank of gas right now? Anybody?
$70.
70. Not too bad, but still, ouch. Anybody have higher than $70?
95.
There you go. Oh my God. Okay, 95.
100.
Okay. My son-in-law was here yesterday. He has a truck. And I was asking him, can I ask you something? How much are you paying to fill up your truck? He's like, on average, 105. And I go, ouch, I'm doing the math. He goes, I go, that's like 400 something bucks, 420 a month. He goes, no, I do it twice a week. He goes, I fill up on Thursday, gets me through the weekend. On Monday, I fill up to get me through Wednesday, and then Thursday I do it again. So twice a week. That's $800 a month. And so you're going to tell me that you're going to just drive around, scoot around all over town just to talk to somebody? Now, if somebody says, hey, I'm ready to buy, here's my pay stub, my tax. Well, yeah, well, I definitely will meet you. Even then, I would try to do it virtually. And so you got to know some of this stuff to be more efficient. What's another reason, maybe the whole virtual thing? Anybody? I'm waiting for two key ones.
Face to face. People don't like to meet people face to face on an interview.
I just told you the pandemic is not going anywhere soon. You're really going to sit there in front of somebody? I mean, have them breathe all over you? I mean, I don't care if you're okay with it. I don't know who the hell you are. I'm not going to be okay with that. My wife won't be okay with that. So, of course, we're going to go the virtual way from that perspective as well. And then there's, of course, the technology perspective where a lot, especially younger people expect it. Very simple. You tell the wrong person you want to meet with them for coffee at Starbucks, they're going to think you're trying to pick them up because that's not how you do business. And so for some people, virtual is the way to go. Thank God for that. We got some of our people, our top producer right now on the life insurance side, I think he submitted 15 applications this past month, all from home. And so that's why you want to do that. I mean, here I am talking to you virtually, if you would. What a cool thing. I got my sweatshirt on. I can't stand up, but still, I'm not going to stand up. But the point of it is that's all you need. And you're ready to go. But there are some things you want to do when you're talking to a client that I want to share with you. First of all, use video to connect. Obviously, when you do a webinar, a lot of you don't block your cameras, which is good because what's one of the reasons you block your camera right now? Just curious. And again, I'm not being nosy. I'm just curious. I want to see if we get the right or the reason I'm looking for. Anybody?
I just got up.
What's that? Oh, you just woke up. Okay, that's good. Okay, you guys got up. Not ready for what else?
Me too.
Okay, just got up. What else?
Not presentable.
Not presentable. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's fine. I'm looking for one key thing, and I'm not getting it. What else?
Doing other things.
Okay, doing other things, distracted, which is really cool. What else? Anybody?
Morning face.
Morning face. I get it. I know what you mean. I have a picture of SpongeBob hung over, and he's just like, I mean, unbelievable. He's dragging with only one sock on. He's missing a sock. He doesn't know what happened last night. I mean, that's how I feel sometimes. So that's true. But the one thing I'm looking for that nobody brought up is this: when you unlock your camera, it more than takes 4 times the bandwidth to run your camera and my camera, even though you're primarily looking at me. Does that make sense? So I don't know if you've ever been on a webinar and it's slow, it lags. Just block your camera, turn it off for a second, and look how much faster it will run and smooth. So if you're not going to be the speaker, yeah, you're right. Just block it. Block it, and that way your camera and your computer will run a lot smoother and the webinar won't lag. So that's a technology reason is what I'm getting at. But the video I'm referring to here that's also very important is get in the habit of sending video. Because remember, what we can't do in person, we have to somehow do virtually, and that is connect. And that's hard. That's a very hard thing to do. And so therefore, one of the easiest ways to do that try communicating with somebody via video when you text them. And so I'm just going to simply hold up my phone and say, hey, Joe, what's going on? It was nice seeing you at roll call yesterday. Just give me a call because I really need to collect your pay stubs, your W-2s and bank statements. So just give me a call when you get a chance. Thanks. Boom. And just send it to them. It's in your best interest to do that, not theirs. You want them to connect at a higher level. You want them to connect in such a way that they feel connected to you and committed to you. Otherwise, they were going to just shop you the hell to death because of the fact that most other people don't do that. So do that. Set your goals. What's the goal? So if I tell you, hey, here's Joe, his name, his phone number. He's a cop, cook, waiter, whatever. I met him at a roll call. Doesn't matter. But he's interested in refinancing. Do me a favor. I told me we're going to meet with him, but via webinar only because he doesn't want people in his home. Okay, cool. When you call him, what's going to be your goal when you call him? Anybody? What's your primary goal when you call this guy? Or what's your top 3 goals? I don't know, top 5 or whatever. When you do the webinar with him, what are your goals? You got to have a goal, right?
Set an appointment with him.
Okay, that's a really good one. That's a really good. And I would say set an appointment. Okay, set up a follow-up appointment. Does that make sense? So one of the top goals of a webinar is to get to appointment number 2. Does that make sense? And the reason that that's so important, most people do it the wrong way. They do one webinar to do the sell, ask for the W-2s, ask for the listing, or you don't want to do that. Why? Because first and foremost, the first webinar really should be to get him to like me and trust me and win him over as a potential client. That's what the number 1 goal is, for me at least. That's my biggest goal. And the second biggest goal is to schedule a second webinar. Hey, well, first of all, good morning. How are you? How's the family? How was Thanksgiving? Great. Well, listen, I understand you met Javier at the roll call. You know, obviously, just like him, I also work with police officers. We know you have very special needs. I know privacy and confidentiality is a big deal. So I just wanted to let you know I'm very well versed in that area, in that area as well. So I just want to, put you at ease and let you know that you're not dealing with some bozo off the street. You're dealing with, a group of people that are professional, blah, blah. Like, that's really my goal. I'm not going to spook him. I'm not going to jump to conclusions, and I'm not going to go for his or her throat. I'm going to simply say this. Now, he was mentioning to me that you wanted to buy, sell, or refi, but because none of them were really circled, which one are we talking about here today? Well, I'm shopping around for a refi. Oh, okay, cool. Have you gotten any loan estimates from anywhere, like actually something in writing? Well, I was actually thinking about just starting this week. Cool. That makes a lot of sense because obviously you should go where the best deal is. I will let you know that we do compete with your credit union all the time, and we're able to beat them. And hopefully we can beat them because a lot of it has to do with your qualifications as well. And so my recommendation is once we get your loan estimate, use that to compare it to other loan estimates because that's where you're going to really be comparing apples to apples. If somebody just tells you an interest rate over the phone or via email or something without really looking at how well qualified you are, it's not going to be accurate. And again, I really do want you to get the best deal, whether it's with us or with anybody else. Does that make sense? Cool. Well, that's my only goal here today. Like I said, I'm not going to take much time. I know you're off. I know you got family and all kinds of good stuff. But what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, either A, send you an email with a sheet of some of the things that I need that are very basic, like your pay stub, W-2s, taxes, and a mortgage statement. So I can kind of take a really good detailed picture of where you're at and try to put together a deal that can earn your business. Is that fair enough? Fair enough. I'll send it over to you or text it. What do you prefer? Oh, just text it to me. Great. I'll text it to you. And let me ask you a question. I'm going to put a bunch of stuff together. When would be a good day, either next week, sometimes Monday or Tuesday, to follow up with you? Kind of the same thing, just virtually via a webinar like this. Tuesday. Cool. Tuesday. All right. Well, I'll put together something for you. I'll have it for you either way on Tuesday. And like I said, that way you can make an informed decision. Fair enough? Fair enough. And that's it. That's it. I wasn't overbearing. I wasn't threatening to him. I wasn't doing this. I wasn't doing that. That's how simple it is. Very, very simple. But my goal was to not only get him to trust me, like me. If I don't know him, I'm not a cop. Well, I can't say I'm a cop, but I can say that I worked with one, the person that was presenting, he and I work. And by me saying that he and I work together immediately means that he can trust me too. And then from there, of course, we continue to the second level, which is something that's very important we want to do and all that other goals. So you have your goals in mind before you ever get on the phone call, before you ever get on the webinar. Make sure you have that. Also, know your tools. This is very important because there are a lot of tools out there that allow you to do more than others. Most people, thankfully, are well-versed or versed enough on Zoom to just get on it. Maybe they don't know how to share, make a co-host, do all this other kind of stuff. But that's pretty cool. You can definitely do that. My recommendation is some of the tools that you will have at your disposal will include things like Calendly. Also includes things like your phone for purposes of texting them, reminding them of the upcoming webinar. And of course, at the beginning of the webinar, to text them again. And most importantly, in my opinion, buy a domain that leads them directly to your Zoom meeting. Everybody that has a Zoom account, and I mean everybody that has an actual Zoom account, also has a unique link to your on-demand meeting room. And that's pretty cool because all you need to simply do is log into that particular, unfortunately, it's a long numbers. It'll be like, zoom.us/ABQR, whatever. Buy a domain that simply is called retwebinar.com or javierwebinar.com or joemywebinar.com or something simple that you can just text to people so they can tap on it and it takes them direct, kind of like the one that I do on the reminder text for you guys. By now, either A, you already know what the domain is, rmbwebinar.com, or you can just tap on it and it'll take you directly to the actual webinar itself. So tools like that will help you be become more productive. Let me go back to this right here. Another tool that I would encourage you to have is to always have a monitor. Always, even if it's one-on-one with a potential home buyer, I always have a monitor. In this example, I have my iPad mini off to my right. And the reason I have it here is because it allows me to know what's happening on your end because it's got the view of an actual participant, which covers this right here. Put an end to can you hear me? Stop asking about can you see the mortgage statement on the screen now? What's on your screen right now? I mean, you don't want to be doing that. I know that if I look to my right with my peripheral vision, I can see number 5, put an end to you, can you hear me? I know what you're looking at because what's on my screen is not necessarily what's on your screen. I can have a PowerPoint going, but unless I'm sharing that particular screen, you could be watching something else. And this happened to me here. You guys have seen that. And so when I don't have my actual monitor, I have to ask you guys, okay, so what are you looking at right now? What do you see? A picture of a house or a picture of this or whatever. I mean, that's very unprofessional. And if you don't have another one, use your phone. It works just as well with your phone. You can just log in as a guest is what I'm getting at. And then set up a room for video. This is very important because so many of us are working from home. It's important to designate a room. And I'm not saying that you need to turn one room into a studio only. What I'm saying is that designate a room and prepare for it. I am in my office/guest bedroom behind me, but you can't see that. And the reason I come to this desk is because I actually have an external light ring, a small one, not those big ones you see from TikTok, a small one. The shades are drawn. The lights are off actually right now, but it works good enough because the light coming in affects the quality of it as well. And on top of that, of course, you also want to make sure that you always have kind of like you see the old logo here. You see the Radiant Mortgage Bank. It's a lot more professional than having your messy room behind you. Like you said, a lot of people are waking up right now. I was on a webinar with a person last week, and I just can't get over that behind him. Not only was it his bed, but it was one hell of a messy bed. Like the damn thing hasn't been made in God knows how many damn weeks. I'm like, seriously, dude? Can you just throw a towel over the damn sheets or knock them on the ground? Or but that's the way he talks he does his business. And I think it's so simple. We've given all of you this very professional background. Red has it, I have it. We've given it to all of our agents for a reason. And it's so easy to generate and it's so easy to just change or whatever you want to do. Or on a worst case scenario, you use the blur feature on Zoom. It has it. Everybody has it. You just simply go to choose virtual background. And if you go there, all it literally does, it will blur my whole background, as you can see behind me, except me. I like the other one better, but if I don't do that, sometimes it looks nice. As you can see, sometimes it looks horrible, as you can see. The hell's that, a pillow or a pillow here? I mean, nobody wants to, or nobody should be seeing that because it affects how they will feel about you. So I just choose to be a little bit more professional and do that as well with that. What I'm going to do at this point is that's what I have. Any questions about anything? I want to make sure you understand. I'm not going around telling people to panic about this thing with the pandemic. I'm just telling you that's the mindset that's going to come to the masses thanks to the media, and especially social media. And you mark my words, this coming week you're going to start to see more and more of it. So therefore, that just simply tells you just have your talking points. Okay, the last time the pandemic came through here, it didn't destroy the market. It didn't destroy rates. There's no reason to panic. Are you still going to have to upgrade? You still want to move up to a bigger home. You still want to downsize. You still want to move out of state or whatever the case might be. Your job is to keep them in check, keep their potential fears in check, and most importantly, be a good advisor and let them know that, no, it's not the end of the world. And you can do that as well. I'm not panicking. I'm not worried about it. I'm just simply getting my ducks lined in a row to make sure that when that does pop up, I can either A, respond to it, or better yet, be proactive, because that's what's going to be in people's minds. Because I'm telling you, the media and everything else that's happening is going to spook the crap out of people in the coming weeks. And that's just the way it is. If I'm going to head over, if nobody has any questions for me, from anybody, any questions?
Hey,
Javier?
Go ahead.
This might be a question for Rhett, but how do you think this new variant is going to affect interest rate?
Well, it's hard to know that right now. I'll tell you from what we've been hearing for the last couple of weeks before the variant, in regards to inflation and stuff, we're already a little not concerned, but kind of on the lookout for interest rates to go up a little bit. I think they're going to have to go up a little bit based upon the new inflation numbers, but it's hard to say right now. I don't think interest rates will necessarily go up because of the variant. There may be other things that happen because of that. There may be, the lenders could take some steps like they did back in the very beginning if it really hit hard. Right now, the variant is not even here. We have no open cases in the United States that have been reported yet. But it's a scary thing when you think about how they're talking about it. It really, the vaccine not having much effect on it. So I know, most of us have gotten the vaccine. I actually got the booster yesterday. So I think that you just got to do your best at trying to stay ahead of all that. But even like Javier said, even last year when it hit, it didn't hurt us. I mean, it hurt us for maybe 6 weeks. We had a 6-week lull in production when it first hit, and then it just went nuts. It went crazy. So I'm not too concerned about what it will do to interest rates. I'm more concerned about what it will do to consumer confidence, like what Javier was talking about. However, that may actually help us a little bit, because it has been a crazy roller coaster ride in the real estate market for the last year and a half. And that needs to slow down a little bit. And prices have just been going bonkers. And we have noticed a slowdown in offers coming in above list price. There for a while we were seeing it between 50 and 80, sometimes 100,000 over. We're starting to see it more like 10 to 20,000 now. But I wouldn't worry too much about that. I would just keep focused on what you're doing. Keep focused on bringing in, I know you and Anthony, you're building a good team, and you're training them on how to talk to people and how the business works. And I think as long as you do that, I think you're going to be fine. Excuse me.
Thank you.
All right. There was somebody else that was asking me a question before that. Who was it?
Oops, Javier.
Go ahead.
I didn't get or did you put chapter 5 already? But yeah, I didn't see chapter 5 on the chat.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You got here late. We added it already, but let me go ahead and find it and add it. We got that out of the way early on. Hold on. So let me go back and find it. Hold on, please. Hold on.
Javier,
Uh-huh.
I think it's in the chat box already.
Yeah, but
She
she joined after. She's late, so it's not going to show up in her chat.
Oh,
Her chat
oh,
started after that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it in here right now. So just bear with me 1 second. Let me know if you are able to see it.
Yes, I see it.
Okay,
Thank
click
you.
on it, please, and just make sure it works. Just want to make sure before we go ahead and did it work? Just if it opened, that's all you need to know. Let's see.
Yeah, it works.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, come in, baby. I'm babysitting, guys, so forgive me. Come in, baby. Open the door. Come on. What happened? Come here. Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I got babysitting duties today. Marcella had her do her eyelashes or something. I don't know what the hell she does. But anyways, all right. Any questions for me before we head off for Tourette? Again,
Javier,
Go
I just
ahead.
had a question. Was there a slide 4 or did I miss?
You're right. I'll send it. I'll have to send it to you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up. I was looking at it right now. I was like, you're right. Where'd she? I was like, damn, he's right. I'll hopefully I'll find it before we get off, and I'm gonna hand it over to Rhett. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Rhett, it's all yours.
Thanks, Javier. I don't have anything this morning. I do want to say that I agree with everything you said 100%. I think that we really have to get used to virtual selling. I think that virtual selling is here to stay. There is no reason that you should have to meet all of your clients. I know it's going to happen now and then. I will tell you that for this last year, out of I probably did 100, maybe 105 transactions for the year. I only met personally in person with 3 people this year. All of my transactions were virtual. There's no reason why. There's very few reasons why somebody would want to meet you in person, especially if you set it up that way, because everybody understands. Most people don't want to meet you in person. And even if they do, if you tell them, hey, would you mind if we met online or through Zoom or even by phone? I did a lot of transactions this year by phone. It's just a matter of common sense right now. Being, in our new world, that people are afraid. People are afraid of meeting face to face for any length of time. We are excited about getting out and doing things, but at the end of the day, to try and sit with somebody kneecap to kneecap, for 20 or 30 or 45 minutes, it's just not something people want to do. So plug into, get used to it. Practice doing Zoom calls. Practice, fix your. If you don't have the ability to fix your background, get a virtual background. Like Javier was saying, I mean, if you could see my background right now, it is a mess. But that's why you never see it. I always have a virtual, or if for some reason I'm at a computer, I'm logging in from a computer that I don't have my virtual background set up. You'll see my face, my caricature, because I'm not going to show an ugly background, because I think Javier is right. I mean, people, you show an ugly background or a disorganized background, and they start thinking you're disorganized. So utilize the technology that we have. I will tell you that we have new technology coming in the next 60 days. We talked about a little bit that we're real excited about. For those of you who are part of Radiant, you should have gotten an email this last week regarding the new non-QM products that we just launched. In all fairness, don't ask me about it. I haven't had a chance to really get up to speed on them. But my understanding is, as far as rates and pricing, it's some of the best out there. So Michael's asking, when's the new background coming with the new logo? Javier's gonna have to answer that one.
Yes, I'll do that. It's coming.
All right. But yeah, that's all I've got, Javier.
Cool. Thank you, Ray. What I'm doing is, just so you guys know right now, let me just send this person who, whatever reason, did anybody get an error message when they're trying to log into the webinar? I didn't.
Yes.
Okay. And what happened? You just refreshed or something?
No, I went to your older one.
Oh, okay, cool. I don't know
Same.
what happened, but what I do want to show, Anthony, this is for you also, for everybody. Number 4, because we skipped number 4. At least somebody was paying attention enough to catch it. Thank you very much, Anthony. And number 4 is to ensure a good connection. Part of that obviously simply means no longer having to be at work. If you are, on some slow DSL or something at home, just get with the times. Cable companies, fiber is where you want to go. They're very, very affordable. And just make sure that, again, you have a strong router. What I did is in my home, I went to Costco. They have range extenders made by Google. So it comes with 3. So what I did is I put one in my living room, literally one in my garage, one in my office, and my signal is so strong now, I didn't have to go increase the speed. It's just a connection that is weak because of the way that the whole thing works. I also mentioned to you, make sure that you turn off your camera if you're not speaking, if you would. So that way it's a lot faster. It doesn't have to work as hard, and it's able to do just that. But that's pretty much what I have. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I started, and I'll end by telling you that don't let other people's mental issues become your issues. They're going to have to deal with the whole mindset issue, and that's what it is. Another thing that I will tell you from a marketing perspective, don't try to become somebody you are not. I won't meet with somebody in person unless I really, really know them. I had lunch with Rhett. We hadn't had lunch in a long time. Perfect example. I went to somebody, the dinner with somebody yesterday. Perfect. But as far as just straight up strangers or just straight up prospects, and when they tell me, no, I want to talk about maybe buying or refinancing, but I only want to do it at home, in person, I won't do it. I'll split it with somebody and say, let's just do 50-50. You go. And like I said, I just won't do it. So you have to take ownership of your business, and by just simply reducing the likelihood, you'll never completely get rid of it. As a matter of fact, the last time that almost damn near killed me, here's the culprit, the super spreader that caused it, which was this little girl right here that landed me in the ICU. And so you never know where it comes from. And so I'm just simply saying, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But at the same time, when I was in the Marine Corps, it was a saying that said, I don't have an issue if there's a bullet out there with my name on it, there's nothing I can do, but it's those bullets that have to whom it may concern that nobody wants. And so the same thing here, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, but I don't want to go and get one of those to whom it may concern bullets. And so just want to make sure you do your part by staying safe, staying healthy. We need you, your family needs you, and just use common sense. That's really what it's all about. No need to run up there and panic, even though I'm telling you, and maybe by next Saturday, somebody can confirm it's starting to pick up. The panic is picking up. The media, because they live for stuff like this, just so you know. And so, like I said, I just won't let them control me to that degree. Last call for question.
I have a question. Could you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I wanted to know, the new name is coming, right?
It's here.
It's coming?
Rhett?
The new name?
No, the new name is just Radiant Bank, or Radiant Mortgage, rather. I'm sorry, Radiant Mortgage. We're
remove the bank only.
We're not going to go to. We were originally going to go back to the corporate name. We're not doing that. We're just Radiant Mortgage, and that's what the new logo shows, and that's what Javier will send out. So we're just not going to have bank in our title.
Okay, and probably the same logo that we have behind.
No, we've got a new logo that just says Radiant Mortgage on it.
Oh, okay. Now, what about the brochure? We have a brochure before. We are going to have a new brochure.
Javier, can you update that brochure?
It's referring to the flip chart. It'll be reflected this week on everything that I control.
Oh, good.
All right.
Same thing about website. There's some information about website that we can do. We can use.
I don't think they're here yet. We're working.
No, they're not here yet. We'll launch those with the new technology platform that we're doing come February 1st.
Okay. Perfect.
It may get launched earlier than that.
Oh, that's good.
but they're telling us for sure by February 1st.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else, please? I know somebody else had a question or a comment, or anybody. It's your chance. Anybody? All right. Well, if no one has anything, I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Let's go out there and make this a productive week. And most importantly, please don't wait until January 1st to come up with your marketing plan, ideas, and how you're going to get yourself from where you are to you want to be as a loan originator. Do it right now. Also, don't forget, continuing education is no joke. Get it done. We recommend you use Affinity Real Estate and Services, mortgage services. Use that school for your continue, or anyone. Just get it done, because you don't want to miss it. It's going to cost you a lot in every sense of the word, and we still have plenty of time to get it done. Last call. If nothing else, thank you so much, everybody. Rhett, thanks for your time, and everybody just stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Bye-bye.